Nah.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'd really like to first and foremost bring up the champion of this film, Jonathan Schwartz. He made this whole thing happen. And I would like to bring up members of the cast. I'd like to bring up Logan, Lerman. Oh my God, please. Elle, please come up. Michelle Monaghan, wherever you are. Blake Jenner, I know I sit next to you somewhere, so you please come up. Margaret Qualley, wherever you are, you're right here somewhere.
Can you talk a little bit about what inspired the story and what, you know, a little bit about your process of working the story together, and particularly the three different times that the characters are within?
Well, first of all, can I have Jason come up here, please?
Oh yeah, please.
Who co-wrote the film? Yeah, anyone who's in the crew, please come up on the stage if you like. If you're bashful, don't worry about it, come on up.
We can move you all this way.
Jason and I just wanted to make ourselves suffer, I guess is the reality. We wanted to write a movie about the differences between our ages when we're 18 and 24 and 30. This way? How many places are we going?
This way, like closer to the...
This way?
To the light.
Forward, okay. And I don't know, we were just slumming it in Queens trying to make a screenplay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Shawn was in a great band called Stella Star. Not sure if you've ever heard of him. And he was on tour, and he sent me the first couple pages of the script, and then we just went from there, wrote it over the summer 2004, and you know, we just started sharing it with our friends, just a lot of people. There's so many people, I think, that are responsible for this movie being here. Paul Wesley was one of our earliest, greatest supporters, Frank Kranz, just so many people, I can't even list them all off. And you know, we just wanted to tell a story about perspective on life and what it's like to think about how you were at 18 and 24 and 30. We just chose those ages because those were the ages that we were at the time. We were writing the script. It's crazy that the movie took 12 years to make. That's what the movie spans, you know?
That's true, that's true.
And I'd love to talk a little bit about your casting of Logan, and also Logan being able to represent these different ages, and so what you did to prepare to do such distinct characters with distinct ages within the film.
Sure, yeah, I mean, the first part, right? I mean, casting of me, I don't know. Why'd you cast me?
He won the role. He won the role in the room.
He won the role.
I guess
he's great. He's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what did we do? This was a you know, a tight schedule. You know, it's like a 28-day shoot, and the transitions between the ages, we had hours sometimes to do it. So a lot of it was just preparation. We had a lot of time to talk about ways to execute that, and luckily we had the luxury of time. I was working on this project with them for, I don't even know how long. 8 months, 10 months, maybe longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to have many conversations and fully realize the film, and yeah, it was a great process to be a part of.
And if you could talk a little bit about sort of the production, putting it together in the end, in terms of how to organize it in the edit process to bring out these themes within the three different time zones.
Well, we shot it, so, you know, 10 days of 18 first, and then we shot the 24 segment, and we shot the 30 with the intention of having like a weekend or something in between each era. But actually, for Elle and for Logan, I had to break the news to them that we were gonna do 18 and 24 and switch into 24 over the lunch break. So the scene in the film when she says "don't cross the street" was shot, I think, on the same day as when you guys are on the porch. That heavy scene on the porch when you reveal that you're pregnant was done in the same day. Wow. That, I think, is a tremendous
And Elle, can I just ask you the same question about how you prepared yourself to play the different ages?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something when you read the script that stands out. And I kind of knew that would be a challenge, but you also can't really think about playing older or playing a certain age, because also what does that really mean, you know? So I didn't really like look at it that way, but yeah, I think I was more interested in where Melody was in her life, what she was going through at the time, and that kind of, she's had these experiences and that makes you wiser, and she was a little different, and Shawn and I talked about that a lot, and yeah, and then like, you know, hair helps and all that stuff.
So yeah, the question is, what made the decision to not show the film in chronological order, but instead in bits and pieces?
Well, because we wanted to show the beginning of each era as a whole new thing, and then that way, as the movie goes on, you'd be able to see how we got there. You know, instead of just doing it in order, we would jump around back and forth in chronological order within each era so that you can understand, you know, how did he become this way at age 30? How did he become this way when he is 24? How did Melody become this way? Those kinds of questions we didn't want to be answered in a row. We wanted to splice out that information in a way that was more interesting to the viewer. Hopefully.
It's just when you're also thinking about your life, it's sometimes a mess in your own mind. And I feel like that was Sidney at the end. And everything was sort of coming together, not only for him, but for Francis Bishop, who was so fascinated and just about being fascinated with people and kind of putting together the puzzle. And I think that's what we wanted to do, is to give people a puzzle to put together and sort of reflect on this character and themselves.
Can we just say that Kyle Chandler and Nathan Lane, Kyle shooting his movie Bloodline and his show Bloodline in Florida, and Nathan is on Broadway, and Yaya, who played Sidney's high school mentor, who wonderful actor, who's phenomenal. So we just like to, you know, everybody else who's in it, but obviously we want to thank them because they were all huge contributors and would have loved to have been here. So.
How do I decide on a Dylan song? Oh, which Dylan song? Well, my wife was playing that song in the car a couple years ago, and I love Bob Dylan. He's my favorite, and I heard his music, you know, and tried to play all his songs, and I was really bad at that. But this song, I had not heard it very often, and I just fell in love with it. And I thought, as we were in pre-production, I thought it had something to do. It really played well into this movie, and actually, I just fell in love with it, and I thought it was maybe a theme song for this film in a way. And I actually remember emailing Logan and Elle like a couple days before that elevator scene. I said, "Hey, why don't you just get to know these lyrics?" I didn't know what I was going to do exactly, but it became just a song that I just felt was indicative of this film and this project. And I'm also super blessed and have to call out Brianne Rose, our music supervisor, for getting all the music in this movie for a very small price, including the Pixies and Philip Glass and Bob Dylan, who saw a clip of the film and said yes. So
we thought the price was going to go up after the Nobel Prize, but we got lucky.
We asked right before that, I think, maybe.
So Logan, how did you grow the beard because you're a baby?
All right, that's like the best question ever asked for filmmakers in the history of the planet. You want to talk about how long it took?
How long it took? Oh, no, I mean, it's, you know, secrets, right? You gotta have some movie secrets here. But it's good to see you, man.
We have time for one last question. Yeah, right there, please.
What is the best way to interact director to actor?
What is the best way for directors to interact with actors?
Yes.
We give that to Michelle.
You know, I appreciated working with Shawn so very much. The first time that I read the script, I was really blown away by the material, the writing, and really the structure of the script. I found it to be really interesting, and the best way is to be available to your actors. And Shawn, you know, months in advance of the project, would be, you know, we'd be having phone calls about makeup and wardrobe and hair and very little details about the character, and that's incredibly invaluable to have that in pre-production. So when you arrive on set, you feel very comfortable in the character's skin, and you know that you've decided and you both have the same intention. And then when you're working together, as Shawn does with his actors, and I'm sure you guys will say the same thing, he's very specific, and so specific to the point that he can just come up and say one word, and I think that's a true talent of any director. I always really admire directors that have great vocabulary, because one word can inspire so much in an actor, and you were that every single day. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, for me, and I'll be real quick, but thank you so much. I mean, I love working with actors. I love seeing their processes, and you have to, and they all have different ways about going about things. And I think for me, it's just, I always wanted to be an actor. I'm a failed actor. I just, I adore them so much and the way they put themselves out there, and I just kind of try to figure out the best way that makes them feel the most comfortable, and try to get the, you know, try to get the best out of them, and work with them and talk it through with them, and I just basically live vicariously through them as I shoot the movie.
Thank you for answering.
Well, we do have to wrap up, but I want to thank you, Shawn, and I want to thank your cast and crew for joining us here at Sundance. Thank you so much for Sidney Hall.
Thank you. Thanks for all coming out.